Well, hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon from wherever you are watching. Sorry, we are here at the FRL World Championship Round One, beginning Season 9 of this league. We are here at Flevo Track, and we are about to start qualifying for the first race in Flevo as the drivers are beginning to go out the track to begin their out laps. So a lot has not changed. There are still the familiar faces you see out on the track. You see Mington getting there, as well as Light Murillo. He was a fast-paced rookie from last season, really set the world alight, as well as familiar faces like Dustin MCA are out on the track. So is Seb Cato, Royal. Basically, a lot of the same faces, but we have two newcomers. I believe one is I think I've never heard of Going Mad Chris, uh, and Crisscross OMG. So this track has always opened up round one each season, and it is certainly a very good track, very fast flowing circuit, uh, and you can see all the windmill decorations. You can see it's very European style based track, as it is Dutch and probably the best inspiration of Netherlands from our uh, league owner Wesley 1041, was also Dutch, which is why this track is probably based here. But as we start to get these laps going, first few hot laps coming up, as it is Sussy Imposta, I believe, who is the first one out on track. And now they begin to set their bank laps, heading to turn one. Very tough braking zone, not exactly knowing where to brake, but you have to get the best exit possible. And these S's are easy to nail, and then you have this heartbreaking zone which you have variable racing lines heading into it, and I think Sussy Imposter has done a good job there. Into this fast left-hander, very long, and you make sure not to go wide, but these are the slickest softs out there, so they don't have to worry about that. And this is the famous part, the very snaily section, very slow and hard to nail because it is a very tough part of this. Probably the lap maker, which is a deal breaker for the lap. Uh, and I think so far, Sassi Imposter has conquered that part of the track, and they head into Sector 3 now. Very different ways to take this corner. You can take it either. Oh, I think he made a mistake there. It looked a bit off, but he heads into the S's now. A lot of these drivers have practiced a lot for this first race. It's not a crown jewel event, but it is still a very important way to kick off your season. And if you can do it in style and win here, then it's great momentum to head into the next race. As we'll see the lap times now, 34.1, I believe, from Sassi Imposter, but Man Pifting is top of the board right now with a 34 flat. And Light Murillo now, we're going to spectate him. He has a purple second sector and a purple third sector. He has set by 25 hundredths or 25 milliseconds, fastest lap of the session so far. And Royal now comes up with a 33.8, 2 tenths faster. Very competitive lap time so far, but Royal ahead by a long shot. So right now the drivers are resetting and they're going to head back on the track for another lap. I don't think anyone is on one right now unless they had started late. Oh, you can just see there we just caught GD David going a bit wide, but so far right now it's out lap for everyone, and currently no drivers on a hot lap. So the favorites to win out here today are probably the top three, mostly. Royal, Light Murillo, and Man Pifting have a record of being fast in this division, and I think They're about to go for another heated battle again, as we are now halfway through qualifying almost. So far, the weather is still sunny, so no chance of rain at all. Very clean day. As now, Man 15 gets the widest run he can to start off his second hot lap. It's going to be exciting to watch as he heads into turn one. Ooh, just goes a bit wide, but he has to continue with it. He doesn't know if he will mess up again. Heads into this hard left-hander, nails it pretty good, and he will just about stay on track. That is a good set of first turns, but it is slightly scarred with that turn two mishap. But here it goes into the snail section. I think he will get away with this fine. Let's see. Oh, he hasn't angled himself that good for the second part of the snail section, but it's still a good lap. But it is a red first sector. Let's see if he can change that. Heading into this very tricky right-hander, surprisingly hard to get, uh, as I've had accounts of, and I think he has done it pretty good there. But Man Pifting still. Oh, he got a purple second sector that time. So I definitely nailed that corner. Here it comes to the S's. Oh, he gets a corner cut. That's unfortunate. But T-Jerk has a surprise purple first sector here. And a second sector is also purple. He can set up a chance for this one. Very, very good corner in that S is very risky. And now he heads into this double left-hander, which pretty much marks the end of the lap. And he might have messed that up. No, I think he nailed it. Let's see. This is going to be a really good lap from T-Jerk. Currently P4 in qualifying, and right near the end of the session, I think he's about to get the record to beat, and that's a 33.7, half a tenth ahead of Royal. I think Royal's about to end his lap as well. He's only got a green second sector, maybe not helping with the red first sector, but he's coming to the line now. Surely he's going to get something, and he will set a purple third sector, but it's not an improvement in the lap. Too much lost on that first red sector. Now we head to the rookie Brawl Stars YT, and well, not the rookie, but definitely one of the drivers of all time, just Dustin MCA, crossing the line. I don't think he'll got an improvement, as now these drivers are about to get a lot of pressure on their heads, heading into these last few out laps. We enter the final few hot laps of the session, and I think Light Murillo is maybe yeah he's gonna start his out lap soon, his hot lap soon. And now this may be one of his last lap or his second last lap, but the next lap may be on used tires. So let's see. He crosses the line now to start his hot lap. Turning into turn one very easy, but then you have to set it up right for this next left-hander. We've seen the and he goes a bit wide actually. But it's still an okay lap. And we had two green sectors for Sussy Imposter, but I think we just saw him go wide, made a mistake there, and he's going to try to nail this double left-hander. Could have gone a slightly better exit, but it was a good exit for the line he took. Let's see him cross the line. As Light Murillo is on a green first sector as well, but we'll see Sussy Imposter cross the line first. Here it comes, and it's not an improvement on his position. I don't think it was a position improvement on his lap. I think Man Pifting's also on the lap. I think he's got two green sectors here. Could get pole right now if he absolutely nails this last sector. This double left-hander can catch out a lot of drivers, but I don't think it will catch out Man Pifting today. What a great last set of corners. I think he just clipped the inside. Probably had a bit of a slowdown, but let's see. He goes across the line, and he will just get P3. It's a very close top three right now. T-Jerk, Royal, and Man Pifting separated by just about half a tenth. But here comes Munnington. Two green sectors. What's going to be the last? It's going to be P6. That was a red last sector, I believe. And Light Murillo hasn't improved, but he has to go on for another lap. As now qualifying's about to end. Last few laps coming in. Almighty device. First sector was bad, but second sector was an improvement. I think he'll be happy with the top five qualifying start or race start. Let's see if he can get that. And he does get it. P5 exactly. As now I think everyone is done with the laps. I don't think anyone's really on the lap. I think everyone's on used tires if they are. So I don't think they will improve particularly. But let's see. Kimi Raikkonen, uh, 077 and B29 man. I think are the last few drivers remaining on track, as well as man 15. And B29 does get P13 right at the end there, ahead of Dustin MCA. So now we go to the race, and it will be, I think, a very standard strategy. I don't think Flevo brings out much of a pit strategy difference, but it's about nailing these corners. It's about staying in the slipstream if you can, and trying to take this race win. And I think these top three, top four will definitely be contenders at the end of this race. Any one of these top four can win. Anyone outside is best of the rest, but you can see these drivers choosing their tires now as the five red lights are going to light up one by one. And we go green at Flevo. We are off. Everyone gets off the lines very, very quickly, and now heading into turn one, into the unknown. T-Jerk leads by just a width, and his teammate right there, Royal, as well. The Cyclone speeds the cars 1-2 for now. Man Pifting's trying to stay with them here. And they all go a bit wide. It's a bit of a unnerving line, but they make it work. Man Pifting with a wide entry into this long left-hander. As Light Murillo's so wide, he almost went off the track. That's a mistake you don't want to make on lap one, but he has gone away with it. T-Jug leads by a long distance now compared to the others. Royal trying to keep up with his teammate as the Saigon speeds the cars of 1 and 2. Light Murillo and Man 15 still battling for that third spot, but I think the top two have evened out. But here comes Royal trying to challenge his teammate side by side, and I think Royal's a bit wide, but he's still there, and Man 15 as well. Fighting with Light Murillo into these S's. I think some drivers will make a mistake here going wide. They don't know how to judge the dirty air sometimes, but I think they've all gone away with it. Here comes Royal once again. Oh, he's gone on a bit of a slow exit, but he has the slipstream here. I think he'll get the move done, but he'll be under pressure still. And T-Jerk will lead the first lap by a tenth exactly. Craig Dev gets the fastest lap so far, but that is bound to change. Here comes Light Murillo challenging for the lead. As a certain commentator was saying, it's a threesome for the lead at the moment. Here comes top three once again. And I think TJ went a bit wide. He's going to get a bad exit. And now it's a four-car fight for the lead. Man 15 gets a pretty good run there. As Light Murillo leads the Grand Prix once again. And here comes the sales section. And Royal is now a bit far back, but I think he can get he can gain it back. So it is a top four that's going away with it at the moment. Everyone else is a bit further behind, but not by much. If they can capitalize on a mistake or two made by these drivers, I think Royal just made a mistake. He's gone super wide, but he is still not that far off. But I think P5 is getting up to him.
Oh, hello.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. If we have it's called Bacon's here in the we see he is in the server and he is commentating with me now, in absence of another
Hello,
commentator
everyone.
we're about to have, but apparently he is sleeping. But it's okay.
Yep.
Anyway, we go back to the race. It's lap three. Quite a long lap here at Flevo, or this fight has made it look like it. And Light Murillo, I think, led that lap, and he still leads it. And battle for P5.
But
I think P5 and P6 are catching
buffers.
up as well.
Yeah, but it's also important to note that like Murillo and some of the guys that are catching the front runners, they are on medium tires right now, which are notorious for firing off really good in the first few laps. But you can also see Man 15 and the Saigon Speedsters drivers are on the hard, and they are maintaining close to Light Murillo, who's on the medium. So the hard runners so far, as we'll see what their strategy will be.
Yeah, I think Light Murillo is certainly making use of his medium tires compared to his competition, but uh, so far he's not had that big of a gap and he's not had that big of a pace difference. I think he's going to start having it now, but let's see here into this double left hander once again. Pretty good battle here for P2. T-Jerk and Man 15 going at it, but Royal has succumbed to P5 and the rest here. Almighty Device now on Royal's back bumper or rear wing. Heading into turn one. Once again, a three-car fight for the lead. It's lap four here, and still Light Murillo. You can see the advantage of those tires. He's able to keep ahead, not being really that hampered by dirty air because of that. But it is going to come in play later on when they have to switch to another compound, and I think then the hard compounds will make their effect by being a longer used tire.
Yeah, and you can see the different lines the drivers take through the snail corner. There's some drivers that like to take a wider entry while others like to wrap the apex on the bottom. This is a really circuit for many drivers to use different lines. It is a fan favorite as Merlin.
Oh, here they come. I think TJ has also slowed down a bit. Either that or GD David and Almighty Device have found new pace on the track. They're coming really close to the lead now, but still now two dog fight for the lead, and I think Man 15. Oh, Almighty Device goes a bit wide, but he's still okay. So I think these leaders are getting a bit slower and slower throughout the race. But Light Murillo, he's making use of these medium tires, but I don't think he's going to last that long now. He's right at the peak of those
Agree.
tires. Heading into turn
I
one.
agree. I think Murillo has done a really I think Murillo's done a really good job. Take the lead and get some clean air so that he doesn't have to fight through the dirty air in very fast corners, especially. We'll see how long he'll hang off for before he has to pit.
Yep. And now, fifth lap of the race. We are I think 160 right there. So yeah. Anyway, Light Murillo's got a bit of a gap going now. He said it was going to be the fall of the tires after this lap, but he's really making use of these tires. Right now, is unable to catch up on those hard tires. And GT David, I think he's on mediums. I'm not sure. Uh, the fast lap as well. He's moved up to P2. He is on mediums. And yeah, the top two now, the yellow runners of this race. And I think uh, depending on how good he can run, he can maybe challenge Murillo here for the lead. He has that strong slipstream that starts about 5 tenths back. So down the straight, right Murillo maybe GT David. And you can see him break the slipstream because of it. He knows not that tactical. It's not. It's still lost him about 3/10, and now down to 5/10 he's lost just from that streak alone.
One thing I would like to mention is that this has not been a very good race for the Racing Star squad. They are they have finished second in the constructors last season, and they won the driver's title with Man 15. And right now, both drivers are out of the points, so it's been a good race so far for the Racing Star squad.
Yeah, and Saigon Speedster is the other fan favorite team here on the racetrack, doing a pretty good job on those hard tires. They're only behind mainly the medium runners and unpifting. Maybe later on in this race, I think Royal's faster uh, on slicker tires compared to the rest because he did get a pretty good qualifying. Uh, so I think we have to see if Royal can capitalize on that. So far, he's currently uh, the worst of this fast bunch, only telling them by a bit of bit of time. But heading into lap 7 now, he'll have the strong slipstream down this front stretch. Oh, what a dive from Royal! And I think
We have a
Cattell is.
retirement from the race. Sorry for the interruption, but Sebastian Cattell has retired from the race.
I think Beast 29 man has also retired from the race. Two retirements so far. I think I believe Cattell's may have not been an internet issue. He was running pretty much dead last. Probably saw nothing going on, but you can see the leaders. They're going a bit wide here. They're making mistakes, but it's not really costing them. Maybe in another version of this car it would have been less forgiving, but I think it's a pretty small mistake so far, so it's not that big of a deal. But I think also because of these hard tires. They know that it's not going to be that big of a deal because they are on a better strat at the moment than these medium runners.
It looks like that the hard runners are likely going to go on a one stop as they are really extending descent. I'm not so sure about the medium runners, but I'd have to assume they'd have to go on the hard tires and make it a one stop from here.
Yep. And this front pack has really gone away from everyone else. It's really far from the next car, which is P6 Crack Dev 2. I believe that's 2.1 seconds back. So it's out of the slipstream. You can see how important slipstream is around this track because maybe if Crack Dev was a 2/10 or 3/10 higher on the field, he wouldn't have been so far back.
Looks
And
like the medium run tires are still holding on pretty good. They haven't been falling off to what I thought they would, as Murillo is still holding the lead against the hard runners.
yeah, but I think now the field is evened out. They're pretty comparable on pace. The sign he's just lost the lead for the first time in a long time, and this could be a sign that his tires are falling off, and these hard runners are getting into the game. But heading into this right-hander, GD David has fallen a bit far off from the front pack, but I think he can catch up as long as he's close enough on the front stretch. And I think GD David slowing down is a sign that these medium tires are now really slow. And I think Light Murillo, he's still doing a very good job, I must say, to still be in P2 on that worn tires.
Yeah, but surely he's gonna have to come into the pits within the next few laps as the run goes on, those tires will be degrading more and more compared to the hard tires. As right now for the hard tire runners, their consistency has paid off as now they are reaping the reward of overtaking Light Murillo, who was on the mediums.
Yeah, and I think these hard Hard compound runners are happy with Light Murillo being here, even though because I think Light Murillo is probably struggling a lot more to stay in this front pack than the hard runners are at this moment because I can see GD David has fallen off a cliff right there in P5, way behind now the front pack, but this is what happens, and I think that's where Light Murillo's talent and his pace really helps him just keep up even on these tires. As now we are heading into the next part of the race, which is pit stops. The pit window is probably going to open in the next few laps for these medium runners at least, and it's going to be interesting what tires they go on and where they come out. It is a bit of a slipstream race this one, so you need what's pretty much called a drafting pack or a drafting car so that you can stay on good pace even though you are out of the lead pack. And you can see Light Murillo coming in now. Let's see what tires he will go on. GD David also follows him suit. The Max GP car now in the pits.
I have to imagine he's gonna go on the hard tires as it is 16 laps to go, and the hard tires seem to be doing
Oh, he
pretty
goes
good.
for
He goes on
mediums.
mediums again. That is really
So
interesting.
I think he's trying to make. I'm not sure what he's doing here. And he doesn't have a draft, I don't think. Is there any car near him?
Doesn't look like it. The next car ahead is 5 seconds up the road, so
Oh no,
Murillo's
this
gonna
could be a
have
bad swap. I mean, he had GD David behind, but he's too far off. Uh, let's see if he can make it work. But these front runners now, these hard compound runners, will have uh, a lot of pace still because of the draft they have and the slipstream they have for each other.
one more thing is that GD David has to pit again because the rules state that you have to use at least two different compounds in the dry conditions. So he's gone on
Same
mediums
with
again, so he's gonna have to make another stop.
same with Light Murillo, I believe. So I'm not sure if this is a good strategy, but they're trying to make it work. Let's see where they'll be in about the next couple of laps after these front runners have pitted. I think it's still going to be about 2 or 3 laps remaining on their stints. Still, they are
Almighty
very close.
Device
Oh,
and
more cars in the
All
pits.
Stars have come into the pits. They're going to come in
See what cars to go on.
and they are going to go on hard
Hards.
tires.
Yep. So this is the strategy we were hoping for these medium runners, and I think Brawl Stars and Almighty Device have read the book here. They will go to the end of these tires, I believe. So think they might even overtake Light Murillo if that's the case, because I'm not sure what those two are doing, GD David and Light Murillo. But
Murillo
yes,
has caught up to the car ahead though, so
yeah,
he's making up a
can really
lot of ground right now. You can see the different lines the two drivers are taking.
so much more grip.
But
It's
Murillo just has a lot of grip.
yeah, but the thing is, he does not have the slipstream. But I think he's still gonna be competitive without it. He's not gonna gain as much as
He's
he probably would have
purple.
hoped. He is purple
He's
as well.
purple in
Yeah,
the first sector, so he is flying right now. The gap was about 18 seconds a lap ago. Now it's down to 14.8. He's really pushing
wow.
right now. And I'd have to assume that the hard run, the top three will have to go another 2 or 3 laps. So we'll see where this plays out.
He still has to pit again. You have to remember that he's gaining a lot now, but he has to
That is
gain a
very
pit stop,
true.
and that's gonna be tough to do. But if anyone could do it, it's probably Light Murillo. Now we're almost halfway through the race, and we hit this middle part of the second sector. We will be 50% through the race. 34.4. That's a message to the rest of the field that we are fast. And I think I don't know how GD David got the fastest lap there. somehow beat like Murillo. I think he's gonna work with him now. He's gonna try to catch up to him.
He's he's 2 seconds behind him, so he's in range of Light Merlo. So both of them are looking to catch up to move up the field and make the most out of these tires.
And now Man Pifting has fallen a bit far off from the front pack, not much, but it's going to be a sign that they are struggling on these tires. And what's even a bigger sign is that these guys who have come in, the stops are now only 13 seconds behind after the pit stops, which are about I think 20 or 22 seconds you lose in the pits normally. So that's a worry for these guys. Oh, teacher goes
Oh,
very
teacher
wide.
going wide.
Saves it. He saves it, and now I think this is a really big sign that these guys are on the last legs. They have to go on for at least like one or two more laps, at least, so that their mediums won't fall off as much at the end of the race. So now it's a tough call to make. Do you pit early or stay where you are? Stay on your original plan of these pit stops of this pit strategy.
Yeah, observing Light Murillo, it looks like the medium started falling off around lap 8, around that. So these guys would have to go a couple more laps at least so that they're not really struggling or fighting the car at the end of the stint.
Yeah, and I think Light Murillo did pit a bit early, and GD David kind of reacted to that, but they're making it work so far, and that undercut might actually work out in the end of this race because he's getting so much, and he's using the medium's pace a lot more. But these hard runners have to they actually might not be running as much because Murillo has to make another stop, but they still have to be competitive, and I think they might even come in this lap.
Yep, Royal went wide and now he's under the clutches of Man 15. They're still really close together. As you can see that line Royal uses, he dives to the inside of the corner.
He's been diving a lot in the inside. I'm not sure if it's working or not, but he's still in this lead pack, so I guess it is working. But right now, another worry they have. Light Murillo is now under 10 seconds of these guys after a stop. So he has gained about, I think, 10 seconds in about four laps on on these front runners.
And he's approaching that big slip, that big pack of play games, Meanington and Sussy, so he's gonna get large amounts of slipstream, but
Yeah,
at the
he's
same
only getting
time dirty
faster.
air.
Lap 14, about 12 laps to go in this race, or 11. These top three still yet to come in for their stop, but I think they might come in this lap because they have to get on these mediums as fast as they can so they can react to Murillo. But right now they're just racing each other as play games is P4. I think he's not pitted. I think these top four have not pit yet, or not top four. I mean top six.
Like Murillo has closed the gap to 7 seconds now. It is now 7.1. So he's really making up a lot of time now. And he's in the slipstream of the cars ahead.
So I think this mid pack is going to help Murillo gain even more speed, but he has to make it in the stop still. So let's see what he can do. I think it can work, but he has to really be perfect every lap. This is similar to what Michael Schumacher did in one race, where he made an extra stop and he just nailed. He just made qualifying lap after
Look at
qualifying lap.
Royal. He almost went wide through that corner. Oh,
Oh
man.
man, 50
Man 50
pits
made a late call.
not with the other guys. I think this is gonna really
That
show
was
for Man
really
50.
late.
But yeah, that was really late as well.
I think he almost
Uh,
hit the wall there.
Sagan Speedster stay out for another lap. I think they'll pit together, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's this lap.
Man 15 goes on the mediums.
So if we can compare the
Is
gap from 15 and like Murillo, you can infer how much Murillo has to gain on his second stop, on his third stop. I mean,
still a very long stint. 11 laps on the mediums is still a long stint. It's almost a little bit less than halfway of what the race distance is. So
Yeah.
M15 will have more deg than Cedric and Roy when they come in. Question is, when will they pit?
So the gap from Man 15 and Light Murillo is 14 seconds. If Murillo makes another stop later in this race around that time or around that gap, he will be, I think, about 6 to 8 seconds behind, but he will have much fresher. I believe he's going to go on softs, if anything, for that second stop. And Royal goes way
Royal
wide.
goes
I think he
wide.
could come
That
in.
was a big mistake.
T-Drake also goes wide.
Cedric
They
also
got to
went
come in
wide.
now.
Yeah, the deg is really starting to show right here.
And they'll make
Yep,
the
they're
hard
coming
left
in now.
or the hard right to the pit lane. And
Light
Murillo was
Murillo is
only
gonna take the lead
3.8
now.
behind. He was only 3.8 behind as well. That's really good pace for that two stopper. But they go on mediums as expected.
And let's see the gap between Man 15 and these two runners. Man 15 is gonna come ahead of them. He has two cars between Cedric, the leading Saigon car.
A lap, a lap more on those tires that might come in handy for the second speedsters later this race. Right now it's 10 to go exactly for till the end of this race, and I think Light Murillo is going to be the guy to watch here because he's going to make another stop for sure, along with GD David, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses through uh, compared to Man Pifting and Co. As right now he's battling for position with I think guys who haven't pit yet. Oh, they have pit.
Yep, we should monitor the gap between Man 15 and Light Murillo, as well as him and Cedric and Royal. We'll see if Cedric and Royal can catch up. I'm very positive they can, as they are probably a lot faster on raw pace than Man 15.
And they are on one lap younger tires, but I don't think that's too much of a factor for now, but it will be later on. Uh, right now, it's around that time when Light Merlot should come in for a stop. It's I think a lap later than this. He might consider it and go on the softs after this. I think that's the best compound to use. But he will struggle a lot because the softs do wear out very quickly. They are very fast for about 2 laps, but after that, it's probably the biggest fall of all three tires.
Yep, I don't think Light Murillo's really out of it because I'm assuming he's gonna go on the soft tires, but the question is when. As Cedric sets a purple first sector, so he's really flying right now. He beat Light Murillo's first sector when he set the purple.
And I think he might get the fastest lap later on. He has that slipstream, and I don't think he's gonna be making a mistake anytime soon. So this is gonna be good to watch. And this just brings him closer to Man Pifting and Light Murillo. This fastest lap attempt, pretty much. Um, Heading into sector 3 now. Green second
The
sector.
Saigon cars, the Saigon cars trade purple sectors. Royal is purple in the second sector, so this is probably going to be the factor of what determines the fastest lap.
Heading
Royal has the
into
slipstream,
main
so
straight.
he has the advantage right now.
T-Jerk heading up to the line, and it's gonna be
It's gonna be
Royal who goes out.
Royal who goes sub 34, which is really impressive on mediums.
That's around the pace he had on qualifying, but I think just a tenth or two off. But still, very impressive lap, and that's not a good sign for these lead cars. Because now they know. I think on the net lead, it's still man pifting, but he is losing a lot of time.
Man 15's not gaining as much as I thought on Light Murillo. I thought Light Murillo would have fallen off a cliff because of those overworn mediums, but Light Murillo's doing a pretty good job.
I think that's just one of his strengths. Really, he can go out on almost any worn tire and still have good pace out on the track. Maybe faster than some of these guys on new tires, but still, he has to make another stop, and that's the part where he has to make up his time. Right now, it's about 7 to go, and it's going to be interesting to see how this race falls out as practice goes a bit wide. Psycho and Speedsters have paired up once more. Now they are chasing down Man 15, who is 2 seconds up the road still. They're not really getting that much as I thought, but that's because um, Man 15 is out of slipstream range as Crack Dev comes in. That's got to be the last driver to get on, the first driver to get on the second stop, and Light Murillo and GT David might fall suit.
Now
It
the
is,
Saigon cars are almost as if they're bump drafting, and they
yeah,
will try to catch up to Man 15 now.
and I think the pit window is opening for those medium runners who took mediums on the first stop. Uh, you know who we're talking about, Light Murillo and GT David. I think they will come in this lap probably. Uh, but if they wanna have good pace on the softs until the end, they might have to stay out another lap. Otherwise, it'll be a huge fall off. So Man Pifting may assume the lead here after this lap.
Yeah, we'll have to see because we know Light Murillo's gonna be rapid fast once he puts on those softs, but can the softs last and Light Murillo have that consistency to catch up? He's got to make up. He's 7 seconds ahead. He's going to be roughly 10 to 12 seconds behind if he pits right now. So he's gonna have to make up 3 seconds a lap as he's in the pits right now.
Yep.
So is GD David.
Man, and GD David is also in. This is gonna be the final few stops of the race, and this is gonna decide who's gonna win out here today. As he comes in, gotta be on softs, and he is on softs.
It is.
So comes out on track. Let's see where. Again from the leaders is 13
He's
or 14
about
seconds. 14 seconds.
14.6, so he's about 15 seconds behind. So, Light Murillo go from P10 all the way to P1 in 6 laps? It would be an
I think he's
incredible
gonna gain a
drive
lot of seconds, or
if
not.
he were to be able to.
He's gonna gain like at least 3 seconds on this first lap. So
Yeah,
consider
but
that.
can
I
he
think
back that up? That is a
it's
big question.
yeah.
As Cedric and Royal have entered the slipstream of Man 15, they have one lap fresher tires. They are coming in with a full charge. It is game on now between these three.
As one commentator would say it, threesome for the lead.
Yes, I wonder who.
Anyway,
Very famously said from very
yes,
famously said from Noobmaster in the FRO Formula E League a couple years ago.
yes. Anyway, 1.1 is the gap now. You can see how much a little bit of slipstream can help a person, and that is really being shown out here so far. It is now 5 to go, and if we see where Light Murillo is, he has not gained as much as I thought. He's only 13.5 back. This has not worked out for him. He has no slipstream to help him out, and these mediums that Tedric and Royal are running have not borne out according to his plan. So he has to gain about 13 seconds in 5 laps. I think he has succumbed to a bad pitch strategy here, but let's see if he can make it up as Tedric and Royal still fighting somewhat for that P2 spot, but They're still a second back of Man 50.
Another factor is the dirty air. While slipstream is really powerful, most of the track, other than the front straightaway, is very taxing for the dirty air.
Oh, and now it's near to half a second the gap. About 6:10, 6:66 it says. But I believe Royal is encouraged here because he is catching up to Man 15. This could be what the race lead, and these top three have been fighting all day pretty much. And now it's
Roy,
coming
I
to
mean,
this.
Light Murillo is in slipstream and he is gaining a lot of time now. He is purple in the first sector, green in the second sector. This may be the fastest lap of the race. As
It
it is,
is.
he sets a 133.6. Yes,
It is
it's
a
four to
fast
go.
lap.
He has to gain 3 seconds a lap. He has a lot of slipstream ahead of him, so we'll see how much he can actually gain from it.
I think he can gain P4, but I'm not sure about these top three. They've been so good today. From the hards to the mediums, each compound they've made use of it very well. It's just not what Light Merlo was expecting to happen. I don't think either that or he made a mistake on the compounds when he was first stopping. But I don't think that was a mistake. Anyway, we should comment on the lead now because look how close the gap is. It's 2.5 tenths, four to go, and now they head into sector three. Man Pifting really struggling now on his slightly older tires. It's not that big of a difference, but it is enough to see it out on the track. Royal is now going to
Royal
overtake the
takes a
lead.
really good line. He's gonna take the lead. He's gonna put Man 15 in the dirty air now. If he can hang on.
Oh,
Man
he goes
15 makes a
wide, so
mistake.
wide,
He missed
super
the
wide.
corner, and now Royal has successfully taken the lead. Man 15 is gonna have to work hard now as Royal's weaving down the straightaway.
T-Jerk now very close to Man Pifting as well. Can he overtake
Royal's
and catch
trying
up
to
with his
break the
teammate?
slipstream. The two cars behind him have the slipstream. They're gonna close back in, but as they go
Man
into
15 on a
turn one,
dive.
who's gonna get the
He's
better
still
line?
close. As Slipstream helped Man Pifting out as well as T-Jerk. Here they come into the left and right here, and I think T-Jerk has done it. He's got the move done, but he's still under pressure on Man 15. It's not done yet. Royal out by about half a second here, and that was super wide for Man 15, but he's managed to stay within track limits. 6 tenths now the gap. T-Jerk, oh,
Peter
that's a very
takes a
close line.
very
Not
shallow line,
he's somehow made work.
and he's gonna
Now
take P2 right now. But Man 15's not that far behind.
Royal staying in the lead for now. He's everyone goes a bit wide there, but Royal just went a slightly bit more wide. I think that's cost him a bit of time here, but it's still 4 tenths the gap. Three to go. Royal. Oh, I think that was a bit of a slow corner because look how close Matt Pifting is now. Royal goes a bit wide. He's touched just barely out to the track limits. He has to slow down, and that's helped Man Pifting even in the dirty air. Here they come, double right hander.
That was not a good corner by Royal. I think Man 15 had the better corner, and now he is a lot closer than he was previous lap.
And now the
As
penultimate lap starts. Man Pifting
I hate,
and
I
Teacher.
hate to interrupt, but Andy has pointed out something very interesting. He has said that whoever wins the first race doesn't win the championship. So that is a very interesting thing to point out to keep in mind for the rest of the season. But
Good thing to point
right
out.
now it is a Saigon 1-2.
And now Man Pifting, I think he will struggle to keep up. Those tires do will start wearing out now, and since Man Pifting faces everything a lap earlier, it's going to be harder and more difficult for him to catch up. But Royal and Teacher still going at it here. Man Pifting another dive. He's still competitive because pretty much the same strategy.
Oh, Teacher,
Royal
he
goes
makes a
right exact.
mistake.
Teacher
He
got a
loses
corner
the
cut.
lead.
Teacher got a corner cut.
And now he's in P3. He's behind the two championship rival. Well, Last season championship rivals Royal Man 15. He's still in
Last
touching
sector
distance
approaching
though,
now.
as Royal dives on the inside. He's been
A bit
harvicking
wide,
the whole
actually, a bit
race.
wide. Man 15's right there. Trying to make a move. Will be in slight bit of dirty air. Royal goes a bit wide. I think that was still a good line though. Man 15 trying so hard to catch up. You can see him just get into the grass right there. Now heading into the double left-hander. Royal's got a
As
good enough
we
gap.
have a retirement from the race, TD David, who
TD
was
David,
competing earlier with the leaders, has retired. But now we're going to come check flag of this race,
one lap to go. Man 15,
sponsored by Credit
T-Jerk or
to
Royal.
Bank.
Turn one. Royal gets a good line right there. Stays in the lead for a little bit. It's going to be close. Man 15. Oh, it goes
Man
a bit
15
wide
goes
right there. You
wide.
can see this will be a really great outcome for Man 15, but I think he's almost out of it. 4 tenths now. He has worn tires, and that's really hampering him through these last few. I think Man 15
Look
is
at that,
wide,
he's
way
wide
wide. He
again.
goes off track.
He's wide. He's now
Back to the
Teacher
lead.
dives on the inside. Man 15 trying everything, but those worn tires are not letting
T-Jerk
him.
takes the lead. He's actually ahead of Royal right now, and now Royal has to play catch up with his teammate. Final time through this set of corners. Man 15 is pretty much out of it, I think. T-Jerk and Royal so close to each other right now. I don't know who's going to win. Let's head into sector
If
3.
Man 15 can if Man 15 can gain even a little bit of time through here and get the slipstream, it
Royal
might
goes a
not
bit.
be
He makes
over.
a mistake, I think. Oh no, he's still right there. T-Jerk and Royal still going at it. That was a really interesting line from Royal. Is it going to work out?
Teacher leads.
Heading into the double left-hander.
He's gonna come down to the wire. It's all about who
Who
can get
gets to
this
get it?
last
Who gets a
corner.
better exit here?
Oh the no.
Oh,
Uh,
oh
uh,
no.
uh, uh, uh,
We have come up with a difficult
we have
technical difficulty here.
so Fox Sports has ended the broadcast early because uh football coming on airing right after this. We've reached our maximum screen time for this race, and we
And
have no
now
idea who won.
we have turned into a radio show. This is Sirius XM here. Uh, we have to ask who won, and we have not confirmed it yet. T-Jerk won the race, and it is official. And Royal probably came second. That was not an ending we were hoping for in this race, but it has turned out to be like that. We are
This
sorry
is
for that.
such a this is such a Fox Sports moment.
We are sorry for that technical difficulty. Uh,
But
Unfortunately,
yeah,
we
T
have not
Jerk
seen
won the
the end of the
race.
race, but T-Jerk has won the race, and the podium was rounded out by Royal. It is whatever
Um,
the finish was. It was a Saigon 1-2. Is
yeah, I was
all I can
about to
say.
say that.
Yeah.
And that was
Anyway,
a really good race. That was a well fought race.
unfortunately, we have not been able to broadcast the finish of the race. Turns out, uh, we had to stream the final uh, Big Brother on Roblox, and unfortunately, that's why we have been off stream.
Big brother.
And on that bombshell, it is good night.
Yep. But yeah, who is your driver of the day, Tash?
I think uh, I would say let Murillo's a shout. He definitely tried at the end, but I think it has to go to the winner. T Jerk really made immense. I think didn't start in the front row or the top three even, or you might have to correct me on that. But I think definitely my driver of the day made his strategy work, and he was fast when he needed to be.
My driver of the day would have to is close, but it would have to be between T Jerk and Dustin.
Yes, sorry, forgot to count him out. He was actually so fast. He got scored last there. That's a scoring error because we don't have actual.
Yeah, yeah, he actually finished first. It's just a scoring error, guys.
I didn't
It
finish
was
first. He
like
finished zero. Finished zero. He got
yeah.
P0. If that was he's so fast. He didn't get first. He got P0.
I think he also deserves recognition because he finished the race even though he was out of the points the whole time. I'm very sure that any other driver would have retired if they were in Dustin's situation. So big shout
He
out
has
to
that
Dustin
grit.
MCA.
So he has a determination, and that's really helped
Dustin
him out
MCA
finishing.
is my driver of the day.
Yes. Anyway, we will wrap things up. Uh, that was not a ending we were hoping, but it is what it is. That from the FRL broadcast, it is goodbye till the next race.
Oh yeah, Royal.
Ah,
So the stream crashed on the final turn, like the final corner. We don't know who won until like 1 minute after the race ended.
You
No
fucking
way.
puppets.
No way.
Yeah, you can. I
oh,
want to check the
Oh
stream right
man.
now. Actually, I want to see how
Ugh.
it was.
Oh my god.
Good job, Royal. Well done.
Yes.